Krishna. I'm going to be reading a very interesting conversation that's presented in the Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka. This is between Kali and Adharma. Kali enters with Adharma. Oh, my friend Adharma, the stage manager spoke truthfully. How is that? How can the moon, which decreases daily during its waning phase, which is full of faults, instruct persons who take shelter at Vishnu's feet? Adharma, oh my friend, king of the Yuga. That low person used the word dosahara to criticize you. O mischievous playwright, please listen. You criticize Kali, who along with me, his servant, has uprooted completely the king of Dharma, along with discrimination, cleanliness, good conduct, austerity, tolerance, mental control, and sense control, and has suddenly blinded those who purify others by their glance. O sin, arise, arise. Krishna exits where there is Dharma. Where Krishna exits, there is victory. If there is no Dharma, where is Krishna who destroys Kali? Kali, oh friend, do not criticize the stage manager. Please understand. My time is now past. I am powerless because of a young boy, just as Takshaka, the king of the snakes, lost his powers because of the powerful herb growing from a sprout. Adharma. O king, Kali, who is this young boy? Kumaraka. Is he depraved, murderer? Has he slaughtered the earth? Neither. He is not to be feared. However, this youth, born in the womb of Sachi from Jagannath Misha, pierces my vital organs. O king of the Yuga, the bull of Dharma with one leg remaining has gone to the mountain cave like a silent owl, out of fear of the great strength of your arms, powerful as huge suns. Your feet are served by dependents like me, but you fear this boy? What is the incomparable bewilderment of your heart? My friend, he is not just a Brahmin boy. He is the lord of all the devatas in the form of a young boy. Performing pastimes of a boy, the Lord with a golden complexion, whose mind relishes teachings of bhakti, who purifies the universe, has now appeared in a Brahmana's house. Moreover, he was born on the full moon, on the pretext of an eclipse, and made the people of the world at that time chant the name of the Lord. This is your mistake. You imagine something other than what really happened, as in the crow and tau fruit example. Please hear me. On the one hand, you are powerful with great support, rooted strongly here for a long time. He, on the other hand, is a young sprout, born in a Brahmin family. Why do you fear him and become bewildered? Oh friend, hear the truth. He is self-manifesting and has no regard for family, age, place, or time. He is like a rising youthful sun destroying the dense darkness. He is not without helpers. Before he appeared, he made his dear associates appear on earth. Advaita is directly the form of Shiva, best of devotees. Nityananda is the praiseworthy, majestic form of Sankarshan, the victorious best of the Brahmins named Shrivas, along with Sri Ram, Sri Kanta, and Sri Pati, is the power of Narada. Charya Ratna, Haridas, Murari, Gangadas, Gadadhar, Pandit, Vidyanidhi, Vasudev, Mukunda, Vakreshwar, Nishringa, Shuklambar, Damodar, Shankar, making Jagadananda the principal person, all reservoirs of love, expert at raising the nectar dances of many lords of pastimes, and friends of the Lord since childhood have come to the universe to save the world. O King of Kali Yuga, please tell how this person has been ascertained to be the Lord. O friend, the unique quality of Bhagavan is that he attracts everyone's mind, since he is by nature full of bliss. He who is full of bliss by nature cannot make the jivas blissful. Oh, excuse me. He who is full of bliss by nature should make the jivas blissful, just as a very wealthy man makes another man wealthy. This boy has that quality of the Supreme Lord, because even in his childhood he caused astonishment in everyone's heart. Even in infancy, qualities like gravity, determination, memory, intelligence, delight, knowledge, sweetness, and affection greatly attracted all people. Who in this world would not conclude that he is Vishnu by these qualities? Adharma, this is not conclusive. He could just be some outstanding jiva. Kali, it is not so. The Lord has said in a general way, whatever object in past, present, or future displays majesty, excellence, or strength, know that it has arisen from just a fragment of my power. In this way, the identity of the Lord is proven by his possession of millions of great qualities. We are the proof, since we do not fear other jivas. O King of Kali Yuga, it is said that he got married. Yes, that's true. When the Lord appears in the universe, his extraordinary Shakti, Lakshmi, also appears, imitating the pastimes of humans. He accepted her in marriage for some time. Then he made her disappear. Thus he appeared like a human. Vishnu Purana says that when the Lord appears as a Devata, so does she. When the Lord appears like a human, so does she. Moreover, after marrying another beloved woman as Vishnu, known as Vishnupriya, an expansion of Bhudevi, he, while very young, will then renounce her, thus revealing teachings of detachment. Moreover, his elder brother named Vishwarupa on earth, who was actually Sankarshan, did not marry. Taking sannyas and giving the flowers to Ishwarapuri, he then disappeared. Thinking to himself for a moment, this appears to be a difficult situation. With extreme cleverness I can change things, but this difficulty exhausts my heart, makes my limbs limp, and makes all my functioning senses become agitated. It destroys my memory and shakes my determination. There is no other calamity for me except the name of the Lord. Kali, O friend, you should know that I have experienced this just now. O friend, there is a way to free us from destruction, a way to conquer him and make us prosper. O friend, what is that? After conquering the directions of the six, O friend, nothing is impossible for your 6 ministers, starting with lust. The whole universe is under your control because of the all-encompassing proud arms. After conquering the directions of 6 enemies, ministers have now returned, each one having conquered a direction, making the world give no opposition, destroying all doubt. They will approach the feet of you, their master. We will engage them all together in order to defeat Chaitanya. I will describe their valor. This is Lust, who is famous for conquering the 3 worlds. By the pride of his arms, Brahma approached his own daughter, and Shiva, though an Atmarama, chased after Mohini. Other inferior people are like the pet cats of women. Oh friend, you are ignorant of his position as Bhagavan. In attempting to defeat Narayan, Lust was himself defeated by Narayan. Persons with material bodies cannot bewilder the Lord who bewilders Cupid. I engaged my ministers. They promised that when his childhood was completed, he could be conquered. But that was impossible because at the beginning of the spring of youth, he left his young wife, who shone like Lakshmi, and observing his own orders as the Lord, went to Gaya to perform Shraddha rites for his father. Then the controlling Lord, the Guru who teaches others by his actions, accepted Ishwar Puri, the king of sannyasis, who had come there by good fortune, as his Guru, and received the 10-syllable mantra coming from Madhavendra Puri. Then, returning to his home, surrounded by his dear associates headed by Srivas, Rama, and Haridas, he sang and danced, performed dramas, wept profusely, and drowned the three worlds in oceans of bliss. How can the lowly Kamadev approach him? Oh friend, don't speak like this. Persons who, through the severest austerities, controlling mind and senses, practicing yoga with dharana and dhyana, considering even the post of Brahma among all the wealth of the three worlds, to be rejected food, easily conquered over Cupid and other enemies, though they were unconquerable, but touched by anger they fell, because please say how this Chaitanya can conquer anger. What can lowly anger do to him? There were two miserly false Brahmin brothers named Jagannath and Madhava, war drums of deceit, worst of thieves, ministers of joking and various transgressions, who caused disturbance to all people, whose minds were tormented by the 5 great sins, and whose mental contamination increased day by day. Overcome with compassion, he called them, and having them brought before him, said, "Give to me all the sins that you two who are greedy for the poison of sin have committed." The two were momentarily stunned with great astonishment. Then they said, "We give these sins to you." Accepting water from his hand, immediately they began to shine. At once their hairs stood on end, tears flowed out of great bliss. Their throats became choked as they muttered, "Krishna, Krishna." All their great faults, such as lust, were destroyed. Thus condition is usually attained from long practice of bhakti, with purity, with concentrated minds. Thus they attained the position of the greatest of devotees of the Lord. By this blissful transformation of the two, Chaitanya attracted all the amazed people who beheld this and would have had doubts as it astonishing that the Lord, who takes all sin lightly, who cuts down the 6 enemies from the heart just by his glance, controls anger. Off stage there's a tumult of bliss. Adharma is listening. "Oh friend, did you hear that? Today you can hear the uproar of blissful shouts in Sriva's house. I can guess that some amazing pastime of the Lord, unlimited and most glorious, is unfolding." There's the sound of musical instruments along with Ululu, Dwani. What we guessed as if we were actually seeing it. Look, a great festival is unfolding like the shower of liquid nectar in the ear holes without distinctions, with the blare of unrestrained conch shells and bells, along with all musical instruments, answering separate loud shouts of Jai Jai, accompanied by auspicious Ulu Dwanvi, flowing from the mouths of young, charming Brahmana women. I must look more closely at this. There's a voice off stage. "Oh Sri Ram, quickly gather the arghya and other items. Oh Sripati, bring 108 excellent new pots quickly. Sri Kanta, you and all the respectable, auspicious Brahmin women from everywhere, bring water from the Ganges." Kali, "Oh friend, I see directly that Srivas is giving orders to his brothers I think the beginning of the great festival of Vishwambara Dev is Abhishek, where he clearly shows his superior power, though he is absorbed in his identity as Chaitanya is manifesting. Adharma. If he is the independent Lord, why was he so absorbed in his identity as Chaitanya? Please hear this, my friend. Though he is eternally the powerful Lord, he does not at all times reveal that. Since he is independent, he performs human-like activities for fun. The wise say this is just his sweet pastime. Looking off stage again. Look, look, he enters deity room in the residence of the Vesta Brahmin Shrivas. The room, as if now becoming visible to all eyes, is like a part of the Ilavrita Varsha, covered with beautiful clusters of waves of sunlight radiating from the peak of golden Mount Meru when embraced by the rays of the sun, filled with intoxicating bliss, while simultaneously appearing like an intense mass of lightning bolts. He ascends the altar of Shalagram and other deities, completely brushes them aside as he sits down on the throne. He's surrounded on all sides by persons running here and there, bewildered with reverence, but they have alert senses, who have pure hearts, purified of all material desires, who bring the utensils of worship previously ordered by Shrivas, while their hair is standing on end. A voice from off stage. O Ram, please prepare pure water with fragrance here. O Mukunda, prepare the ingredients for the Abhishek. O Gadadhar, bring the cloth, garlands, and ornaments. I will bathe the Lord from the conch. Kali, looking everywhere off stage. Oh friend, look. Women with auspicious pots on their excited hands are going from the town to the bank of the Ganga and coming from the bank of the Ganga to the town. They speak of his activities with tears in their eyes. Their bodies tremble and their braids loosen. There are goosebumps on their cheeks. This is astonishing. Adharma, friend, it could be said that loosening of their hair is a sign that lust is manifesting, since it is said that whenever beautiful women walk, their Cupid is victorious. Without his troops, which generate his excellence, how can the commander alone be victorious? Kali, it is not like that. Hearts of couples overcome by lust become agitated. Gestures of the body do not affect persons who are devoid of lust. Off stage, there is a loud music and attractive chanting of the Purusha Sukta. Kali again, describing the scene. This is most astonishing. The four directions flow with the bathing water which has fallen from the body of Gauranga and is spreading throughout Bhumandala, like water constantly flowing from Brahma's water pot, or like cascades of water which continuously can descend Mount Meru. Having been bathed and still damp with sweet water after being wiped with a towel, glorious in mind when dressed in shining cloth, anointed continually in abundance with unguents, Vishwambar is decorated by some devotees having alert senses, while his feet are washed by other devotees. His glory, endowed with brilliant golden complexion, illuminated by particles of molten gold, is envied by glory itself. With outbursts of prema, all devotees, making a complete show of wealth, offer at his lotus feet gold, gems, and cloth to their ability, thus indicating that Chaitanya is the second form of Krishna. Adharma. This is an opportunity for greed to manifest. Greed, which destroys resolve, is the enemy of happiness, produced at another time other than from greed, and being the opposite of shyness, can defeat Chaitanya. Even Vishnu desired Lakshmi, and the Kostuba, the jewel which arose from churning of the milk from the body of water. Kali, he is not like that. Look, look, he does not speak, he does not see, and he does not hear anything. Stunned with his own bliss, he just shines with glory. Adharma. Oh friend, this is the characteristic of intoxication with wealth. It makes the eloquent become speechless. It makes a person with vision become blind. It makes a person who can hear become deaf. The powerful agent makes that person with strong mind into a mindless person. Please tell to whom intoxication with wealth will not create great injury. You should not worry, since there is one such opportunity, envy. One can infer opportunity for all weaknesses. Those who are assigned to work together should accomplish the task together and abandon it together. Your excellent minister named Envy, called the agitator of the whole world, by which villainy increases with persons that it attracts, resides secretly within him. It will contaminate a person's mind and produce intolerance of others' excellence, causing cruelty and death, deceit, just as the fire in a hollow tree will quickly burn up the tree. Off stage, Advaita, 18 yamas have passed since I saw you. We should praise him in such a way that he will decrease his intense bliss and return to external consciousness out of affection for his devotees. Kali. Oh friend, did you hear that? Shiva says that the devotees cannot bear his show of powers. Adharma, I heard, but they praise his inner intoxication. Is it because of delusion? If it were natural bliss, then he would not be able to give it up, because Kali, it is out of affection that he agrees to their words. Adharma. When referring to ordinary people, it is called delusion, but when one refers to him, it is called affection. Kali, fool. This is the jiva's nature. The jiva thinks in terms of low and high persons. Listening off stage, what's happening? The devotees headed by Advaita, Srivas, and his three brothers, and their wives, and all the women simultaneously fall on the ground like sticks. Oh, I understand. Gauranga has opened his eyes, which are like two blooming lotuses growing with honey of mercy, which were closed nicely. Looking for a long time, saying, concentrate your minds on me. In a steady voice, deep is the host of friends, the oldest of his lotus feet. He offers his lotus feet on their heads. Their bodies, joyful and festive, become filled with bliss, along with tears of longing, trembling, sighing, and hair standing on end. How they all come here to China. I have thought about it. Please listen. You can stay among these persons who tolerate extreme suffering and who criticize the spotless actions of Gauranga, though he is endowed with knowledge, character, good family, and proper ashram. Your wife, called lying, can stay among the materialists who do not appreciate Gauranga, and your son, fraud, can stay among those absorbed in dry karmas. Because of this, do not lament a dharma as you wish, and they go out. End of that. Chai. So we see how Kali Yuga recognizes Lord Chaitanya, but still he can come wherever we're ignoring the kirtan. So, and wherever there is kirtan and devotees focusing on Lord Chaitanya's good qualities, then Kali cannot enter. But his agents are always trying to attack us, and the only protection is the kirtan and surrender, association with devotees. Kirtan in the association of devotees.